Okay, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Essential E. I'm going to be doing another drink demonstration, and as a matter of fact, this one is one that I have kind of done before. I have done a sangria, and this one is going to be take on a white sangria. I'm going to be doing a tropical one. This one is going to be more of a pineapple and a lime flavor. That's kind of what I'm going for. That's what I chose to do. It's a white one, so I'm using a white wine. I just kind of did one up earlier to see if that's what I wanted to do, and it certainly was. I'm going to sort of step back here and show you. I am going to use a white wine that is a little bit more dry than I would have wanted, but I'm using what I have on hand, and that's the joy about these cocktails that I'm making, is using what you have on hand, and you can make it work. So I'm actually going to be using a Sauvignon Blanc, so that's a little bit drier than normal. I would recommend using like a sweeter white wine, like Riesling or a Moscato. Those would be really good choices for a sangria, a little on the sweeter side. But because I'm not using the sweeter wine, I'm going to use a little simple syrup. And simple syrup is equal parts white sugar and water. And then you just bring it to a simmer and let it cool down. And you can use that kind of as your sweetening aspect of the drink. So I am going to be using a cocktail mixer. But you do not have to use a cocktail mixer. I actually recommend a mason jar with a lid. Something like that is fine too. I thought it was a good investment. I got one for like $6 or $7 from Home Goods, and you can get it from pretty much anywhere. It's just kind of something nice and fun to have on hand. I really, really like this cocktail shaker, so I thought it was a good investment. And it's just really neat when you're entertaining. So I'm going to step back here and just kind of show you what I'm going to be doing. It's really, really simple. This is just kind of a fancy setup, but it doesn't really take that much. So I'm going to go ahead and just start making it with the white wine. We're going to start from there. Again, this is a Sauvignon Blanc. It's a little bit more dry, but stick with a sweet one if you have that on hand. And if not, no worries. We'll make a simple syrup. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. It's a brand new bottle. Okay. I really enjoy having white wine with something, with fish or a pasta that's in a light sauce, or with the cream sauce to kind of break it up. I usually keep white wine on hand for that reason. I typically would drink a red wine, but the white wines are nice to have. Okay, so a typical pour would be about 6 ounces for a glass of wine, but for the sangria, I'm going to back it up to about 4 or 5 ounces, just because I want to have room in the glass to play with. So I'm going to go ahead and put about 5 ounces of red wine right in my shaker or your mason jar. Okay, there we are. We have about 5 ounces right in there. This is the Sauvignon Blanc. And because it's not sweet, we're going to go ahead and add some simple syrup. This is the equal parts sugar and water, so it's kind of clear. This is what I'm going to add for the sweet factor. Right into the mixer. Okay, and I'm going to add some ice cubes. I actually have some real ice cubes, but you know what I do is sometimes when I chop up a fruit, I will save a few pieces and stick it in the freezer and use them for drinks like this. It's so much cheaper than going to the store and buying them. So I have these on hand from, I think, maybe around the holidays, I had some extra fruit. So I'm going to go ahead and put the frozen pineapple chunks in here, because that's the flavor I'm going for, is something tropical, okay? So I'm going to put that right in the mixer. And there we are. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some oil. These are essential oils, and that's what I just love about this. Because usually with a sangria, you are letting it kind of marinate the flavors overnight in the glass pitcher or something like that. But with the oils, it helps me kind of sort of cheat and get those really deep, earthy kind of flavors that you would get from like the rind of an orange in just a couple seconds. So, and I am only using oils from Young Living. I can't tell you that you should just go and find something in your cupboard and use that. I'm speaking for Young Living oils because I know that they're safe to digest, the citrus ones. And that's mostly just because I'm really watching to make sure what's safe. So I'm gonna show you, I've got grapefruit, and I've got tangerine, I've got orange, lime, and citrus fresh, which is just a blend, and it has a little bit of spearmint in there as well for something different. I'm actually gonna go for lime because that's the flavor profile I'm going for. And I might add in some tangerine and maybe just a little bit of citrus fresh just for fun. I can really just change this up as many times as I want. It's really fun. So I'm gonna add 1 drop of lime. A little bit goes a long way. Less is more with oils. They're very potent, but it's gonna get you that deep flavor. 1 drop of lime. Put the lime in the coconut. We're gonna shake it all up. I'm gonna do 1 tangerine. You really could just do whatever sounds good to you, you know, what kind of end result you want. 1 tangerine. And then 1, I think I said citrus fresh, right? We're gonna do 1 of the citrus fresh. Notice how I am shaking this up in a metal cocktail shaker. And again, the mason jar that you could use would be glass. Don't mix these things up in something that's plastic because the oils in here have the ability to break things down, and that's not going to be safe and not going to be good for drinking. So use metal or glass. That's going to be the best bet. Okay, so I have my wine in here, my frozen fruit, my ice cubes, my oils, and my simple syrup. Okay, so now we're going to do the fun part, shaking it up. All right. All right, so should be really good. This thing is really cold, and that's what I love about the frozen fruit. So we're gonna go ahead and open that up, and we're gonna put it right in our glass. Now, let me stop and just talk about the glass. I think it helps a lot if you're doing like the one-piece flow, if you will, with a drink, doing just 1 drink versus making some for a crowd. Choose the glass first and think about the size of it, and then kind of build your garnish ideas around the look of the glass. A lot of times that's where I will start, is find the glass that I want first and then know how much I'm going to be adding in my drink. So if I have a huge glass, like if you're gonna make a huge sangria, which is fine, you're gonna have to multiply and adjust your amounts, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, so I have this wine glass. I really like the look of this, the tall stem. It's very classy. I'm gonna pour my sangria right in here. And we're gonna see the pineapple come right out. There we go. See if we got it all. All right. You can even add fresh mint to this. I'm going to go kind of just straight fruity on this one, but there's so many different variations. Even basil you can add in there. That would really wow your guests. They'd be like, wow, you know your flavors. Absolutely, I do. So here's my sangria. And then I am going to add some sparkling water. I'm actually using a LaCroix. This is a tangerine LaCroix. I like the carbonation. I like the fizz in a sangria. It's just really nice on the palate. It's really refreshing, especially since it's tropical. This would be nice to have poolside, right? So I'm going to go ahead and add probably about a 1/2 cup of LaCroix. And I like the fizz in that. I'm just going to mix it around. This is just another bar tool. This is something that I use that's just like a swirler, mixer with a spoon, but it has a muddler on the end if you're muddling some fresh herbs or something like that. Just going to kind of use it to stir it. You can just use a spoon, but I'm feeling fancy today. Just going to kind of mix that around with the LaCroix spritzer. Okay, now I'm going to add some garnish. I'm going to actually add some little slices, little pinwheels of lime right into my drink, just for a different look. And I like it kind of floating in there. I'm even going to put a little slice right on the rim. That's some fresh lime. I also like to add some pineapple. So if I am really trying to showcase pineapple and lime, if I'm showcasing those two, I want those to be a part of my garnish. That is something that I like to do. So when I hand my drink to someone, it says, hey, this is going to be lime and pineapple infused, right? So that's sending a message right away. So think about that when you are serving a drink with a garnish, okay? And then I even cut up some pineapple. So I always keep pineapple in my house It's the international sign of hospitality. And so I really just like this fruit because it just represents that, but it's just so darn tasty. I love pineapple. Really sweet. It's a tropical fruit. How I cut that is I actually top and tail it, meaning I cut off the top and I cut off the bottom. So here, as I pre-cut the top off, and I cut off the bottom, and then usually I will just take my knife. I'll show you. Usually I'll take my knife and just slice downward on the skin and get rid of it. But I am going to keep some of the skin on for the garnish, just for fun, because it looks a little bit more rustic, more natural if I leave that on. Okay, so I'm just going to do a couple of these for my drink, just for fun. And we have that fresh frozen pineapple inside the drink too, if you remember. So this is going to be my sangria, my Islander sangria. And that just looks beautiful. If you could just kind of look at that, isn't that nice? Imagine serving that to someone. That just has a really nice appeal to it. And see the lime kind of floating around in there? It just looks really pretty. And I bet you, even more pretty, it's going to have a good taste to it. So I'm going to taste it right here and see what we think. Ooh, that's good. You know what? I'm getting a lot of lime in there, and that's actually not just from the lime wedges in there, that's from the oil, and that's good. I love lime, if you like that. I'm getting that white wine that's really light. I'm getting also some of that pineapple juice. It's probably leaching through from the frozen pineapple. This is just really lovely. And then I feel the carbonation from the LaCroix as well. So it has all of those things balanced with it. I know my husband would like it sweeter. He likes things a little on the sweeter side. Again, for him, I would probably use a Moscato or a Riesling, and maybe even add the simple syrup. So find what works for you. I don't like it that sweet, so this is perfect for me. And ladies and gentlemen, that is an oily sangria. I love that I can use my essential oils for my health and my wellness, but I can also use them for fun in my adult drinks, and it's just a win-win. It just makes so much sense to have these on hand. So there you are. Cheers to you. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and it's filled with blessings and good things.